Welcome back to another episode of Sally's Speed Shop. On this episode, we're prepping the 57 Chevy to go to LS Fest. It is Friday, August 30th, and this thing has to be on the road next Friday morning. We don't really have that much to do to it. I know oftentimes shows have these time crunches to where you got to get it done in a certain amount of time. I'm not really a fan of that whole theme, but sometimes it's just reality. All we have to do is put in a couple of bucket seats that I picked up recently, the seat belts, and this support that goes under the radiator and will help secure this hood bracket. Yeah, that I think should go in by removing this and pulling the bumper, and I should be able to slide it in. I'm probably gonna have to cut it a little bit because the radiator hangs down a little lower. This is an LS powered 57 Chevy, and the radiator is a little larger than the original, so I think I'm gonna have to notch this out a little bit. Shouldn't be an issue, should go in there easily. I got some seat belts from Seat Belts Plus. These are made in the USA. Comes with the mounting hardware and even the shoulder strap mounting point. It comes with rivets. I guess you rivet it on and then you weld it, because I wouldn't want to trust the shoulder belt to just 2 rivets. Here's one of the bucket seats I picked up. These are out of a 75 Camaro, and they match our black interior pretty well. I've got some black carpet that's gonna go in there. There's the other bucket seat. They're gonna go well in the car. I like the bench seat, but the seat cover I ordered was the wrong one. Don't have time to get it done, so these are gonna work in the meantime. Might have to do something to raise them up a little bit, get some rectangular stock or some square stock. Need to go up maybe an inch or 2. Tonight I'm vacuuming out the car. Gonna do a little work to get this floorboard in better shape. I'm gonna lay down some fiberglass. I don't have the metal floor pans. I don't know how to weld. I don't have the time. So the easiest option is to put in a layer of fiberglass. That will hold us until we can put some metal floor pans in, or forever, whichever comes first. One thing I'm having to do is take out these strips of wood that were used to tack the carpet in place. Also, you have a license plate here. There is actually a lid to a can right there. You can barely see the outline of it. There's a lot of intact metal. There are places that are rusted. Here on the passenger side, yeah, we have issues. And I know some of you are saying not to use fiberglass, and I get it. It's a classic car. It's kind of janky to be using fiberglass, but I'll tell you, it's better than wood, and it's better than this. I'm not getting it where it needs to be, but I'm not keeping it like it is. We're not gonna fall through the floor. I'm gonna take a wire wheel and clean all of this up, and then I'm gonna lay down a couple of layers of fiberglass. I'm gonna throw some carpet on top of it, mount some seats, and we're gonna drive this thing to Bowling Green, Kentucky next Friday. You know, sometimes if you're in a crunch, you just gotta do what you gotta do. And I will say this, Corvette's an American performance car. They're made out of fiberglass. Speedboats, made out of fiberglass. This 57 is gonna have a little bit of fiberglass. You know, it just depends on what the engineer comes up with. And in this case, I'm the engineer. I've got all the wooden strips up and most of the screws pulled out now. I attempted to unbolt this loop that the front seat would lock into. These are pretty much frozen solid. So I'm gonna take the old death wheel and cut those off. Make sure you wear your safety glasses and your hearing protection. Probably not holding this thing right. That wasn't too bad. You can see where the black shag carpet was hooked under there. It's 1:15 on a Friday night. Saturday morning, Got this side cleaned up pretty good. I need to take it down to metal a little better. Already put the seat in. The seat sits right here, so I've got to get some kind of metal spacer to raise that up and bolt it in over there. It's coming together. It is Saturday night here in the shop. I don't think there's really a time crunch, but I do work a full-time job. Fortunately, Labor Day is on Monday, so I've got an extra day. Anyway, I've got some fiberglass floorboards. I know y'all won't agree. A lot of you won't agree, but it will do the job, and it is strong. Until I do a floorboard cutout and replacement, it will do the job. You see how I went around the tag? It's fancy. For cars that you can't get replacement floorboards, this is an option. Or for beaters that you just don't care. You can do it for about $100 a gallon by the time you buy the fabric, maybe $120. So it's pretty reasonable. You don't have to buy a welder. You don't have to know how to weld. You don't have to buy floor pans. It is definitely a budget-friendly option. Would you want to buy a nice car that has this done to it? No, probably not. But I mean, this car is pretty rough. So it's not a real big deal. If I ever do a full restoration, these will go. But for now, it's gonna do the trick. So here's the other side, and it's really bad. But by the time I get all that fiberglass on the top of here, all this is gonna be fused together, and it's gonna be strong. Like, look, this pushes down right now, but I'll do it again after the fiberglass is on there. There won't be any movement. So it's the next day, and the fiberglass is nice and dry. I beefed it up where the seats were gonna be resting and bolting in, so it's thicker there. But in the less traveled places, it's maybe 2 layers. All the holes are pretty much filled up. The passenger side was pretty rough. Now we need to put in seat belts and throw some carpet over this, throw in the back seat. I need to put the piece under the radiator, and we're gonna have a functioning car. I'm actually enjoying having a little breathing room on this job. Hopefully nothing's gonna go awry. In case you're wondering about this, and I'm kind of hiding it with the safety glasses from ESSIPro.com. They fixed us up with some safety glasses and some sunglasses. They're actually a supplier to the Department of Defense. So where you see these warriors wearing these cool sunglasses, that's ESSIPro.com. And they also sell to the general public. And they are made in the USA. The sunglasses are also safety certified. But anyway, I'm kind of wearing these to hide this spot. I had a little basal cell carcinoma on my face. I thought it was just a little spot, and they started cutting, and they just like kept on hacking. It's like, you might want to tell me, like, before I take the bandage off, that you like almost amputated my whole face. Not that bad, but still, they cut more than I thought it was gonna be. But hey, something's gonna get you. You know, 100 out of every 100 people die. Eventually something gets you. Life is a terminal disease. That's why we trust in Jesus. I've turned my attention to the front of the car now, where I need to put this piece in below the radiator. What's the term I heard recently? It's not a restoration, it's a roadstoration. So I just want to be able to drive it, and I kind of like it's kind of, I wouldn't say rat rod, but you know, a little rough around the edges, a lot rough around the edges. It appears that the new part that I ordered that holds the hood bracket here is not going to go in. And so I'm going to have to cut. I measured it in a little further, but I'd rather just cut it further out. So I stepped out a little further so that I don't have to cut it twice. There is a brace under here that might be able to connect in the back to give it some support, but I don't know. We'll see. Either way, it's going to be better than what was there. Time to use the death wheel. About to see some sparks fly. 57, and we're finishing things up on the seat belts. We've got a few holes drilled already and a little bit mounted in there, but not much. The seats, we have all the bolt holes for those already, and they are bolted down. We just need to tighten them all up. Up front here, we now have a secure hood latch point, and put this plate in, whatever it's called, and it's pretty sturdy, it's pretty tight, and I had to order a new hood latch because this one was not acting right. I got one second day air from Classic Industries, and we'll get this changed out tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. We leave Friday morning at who knows what time to head to Bowling Green. 5.5 hour trip. Will we make it? That remains to be seen.
Probably not.
Yeah. Is there anything else we need to do to the car?
I mean, everything. Like restore it at some point.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good on it to this point. We haven't had to do a crazy thrash like putting in an engine or, you know, major stuff. It's been pretty easy this year, too easy. We're gonna hopefully take it for a test drive, I guess tomorrow night. Make sure we've done everything right, got everything right, and we'll be good to go for about 700-800 miles, something like that. We're putting the carpet in. We're having to attach the seat belts under the car. Well, the car sits pretty low to the ground. And so this is something you can do when you're dealing with any kind of tight place. You can put some tape on the back of your wrench. The nut is in there already. And then tape your washer onto it. Also, in this case, we got the big fender washer. So I can reach under the car and put it up against the tunnel without actually even seeing it.
I'm just glad we're covering up all this.
Yeah.
Look, if you do this, it's got metal floors again.
There you go.
Just in the spot that you see.
They're solid.
Ignore right here.
If you beat on that with your fist,
it's solid, but it's a hack repair.
Solid as a speedboat.
Yeah, and then there's these razor knives that can just slice you open.
There are some places that I didn't get smoothed out, and they will cut you like a serrated knife.
Yep. All right, get under the car where you belong.
All right, status update. I think we're all ready to go. We've got the ride height adjusted. We got the hood latch on. We got the seats bolted down, seat belts bolted in, carpet laid, and got the Holley Terminator on the dash.
Still runs.
We haven't really done much with this car for 2 years since we brought it home from Kansas, got it running out there, drove it 900 miles home, and it's been sitting because it needed some things done. And all that's been done now.
So this is my dad's filming and editing, so he didn't film anything all day, but we are officially in Bowling Green, Kentucky in the 57. It made it. We had a leaky transmission cooler line, and the alignment's a little off, but we can't adjust the tie rod ends because the sleeves are rusted onto these tie rod ends. But we made it. We're about to check into the hotel and then head to Beach Bend to hang out with everybody, so should be a good time.
We're rolling out from the hotel. Jake is behind us, and I'm riding with Mr. Mark Frisbee in the Corvette that's been transformed into a Blazer. They call it the Blavette, and this thing is rowdy. I actually went and picked it up at Dallas, Georgia when it was a wrecked Corvette, and this is what they've turned it into. It's a little rough around the edges still, but they're going to keep working on it. They do have a back seat for it, which is not your typical Corvette option.
Smell the exhaust.
Yeah. You can see where they've lightened up the top and put plastic windows in it. This thing is pretty cool, and I got the opportunity to ride in it. What a lucky guy I am.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, what a lucky man.
Well, it's day 2 here at LS Fest East in Bowling Green, Kentucky. We're just rolling around. I don't know where we're going to be able to park because it is a madhouse seats instead of hurting our feet. So, good time though.
So what all do they have going on today at LS Fest?
So there's drifting, autocross, drag racing. Obviously you got the car show, and there's a dyno setup and just all kinds of madness. Burnout contest. But we're not doing any of that this year. We're just showing off in the 57 because this car would be terrible at any of the things that I mentioned. Would even be bad at car shows.
There is a lot of people.
Should I hit Mark?
Hey, get out of the way, old man.
I'm sorry.
People are probably nervous watching that. So this is the Holly booth. This is where they put all the cool cars out front. I don't know if ours counts as cool enough.
I mean, we've got Holly on the window.
We do, and we did the Terminator X when we got this thing running. But everything's running cool. We've been sitting in traffic for a half hour, and it's still 191 degrees. So this thing is proven it will not overheat in traffic, and that's a win.
It is a great system. Not only does it do well at controlling the engine, you get this panel here where you can see actually what's going on with it, which is a really nice feature because that could actually save an engine. If you didn't have gauges, this gives you an update of everything that's going on with your engine real time.
But yeah, eventually we'll find a spot to park, and then we'll just walk around and check out some stuff. So we are in Fayetteville, Tennessee on our little back road American road trip, and it just turned out really cool because we just parked next to a 1930 old hot rod, and then we got a 1940 Chevrolet on the other side, and we're grabbing a bite to eat at Highway 55. So got a little impromptu car show going on, and got a, well, I don't know, I think we're gonna stop in and see Dylan McCool, and then go get our Mustang parts. Then we'll be heading home, but it's been a great road trip. Spending time with my dad in an old hot rod with beautiful weather. It's like 75 degrees outside. It's so nice.
Oh yeah.
Go drive your junk.
We have made it over to Huntsville, Alabama, and we're here with Sean Linehan, Ford Crazy on Instagram and Facebook. Sean has fixed us up with some parts for the Mustang Trashback. So we got a rear bumper, rear valence, reverse lights, front turn signals, front bumper, all the brackets. We didn't have to import anything. All about that.
Good deal.
Thank you, Sean. We're headed east still. We've got about 4 hours to go to get home in the 57. But as per usual, we got a Chevy toting Ford parts. Yeah. So.
Oh man, I'm telling you. It's,
Actually,
okay.
We like them all. I
We
love
like 'em all.
Fords and Chevys. It doesn't matter. I mean, I can't talk too bad about Fords because I own
building
a
one,
few. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're about to head east.
That's the plan.
Yeah. Let's roll.
Just like that, we are back in Noonan. The 57 did almost 1,000 miles this weekend up to Bowling Green and back for LS Fest. It definitely needs some stuff still. This thing wanders all over the road, so I think it needs an alignment. A sway bar would be really nice, and then maybe getting the bench seat back in it, because those seats are not very comfortable in this car, honestly. But as a whole, you know, after sitting for like a year and a half, 2 years after we brought it home from Kansas, just jump in it, fire it up, and drive it 1,000 miles almost. I guess it did have a leaky axle seal too, so we got some maintenance items, but as a whole,
A few things, but it did really good considering it has sat for about 2 years.
and we got like 22 miles to the gallon
Yeah.
out of it, which is awesome. You'll see more to come with this car, but as always, we appreciate you guys following along. I hope you enjoyed just a little snippet of LS Fest. We didn't film everything. We kind of just went to have fun, but we figured we'd take you along for a little bit of it. So yeah, more content to come. So please remember to hit that like button, subscribe, follow along for more. Let us know what you liked in the comments below or what you didn't like, and we'll see you guys on the next one.